Hello, everybody. Welcome. Roses like investigated. So today I have a different video than the videos I normally do. Today is Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. And I have an interview with someone. Her name is Elspeth Tremblay. Elspeth, it's a really interesting story. So she had a reading with me one time, and I don't even remember. I think she wanted, oh, that's right. She wanted to change her career and consider moving to a different country, I think it was. And I remember I was like, at some point it arrived. I said, well, what about, I was like, honestly, I don't remember the details, but I remember how it was like, well, but I see you being a painter. I see you being really successful. And she does this paintings that I thought was extremely interesting. She describes herself as a painter healer. So she paints, she does figurative painting. She also paints animals, and there's this healing aspect to this, and I thought it was really very fascinating. But it's obviously I'm not doing it because I had seen it. I did see it then in her, and it's because I really believe it. It's really so interesting, this about her. And what's interesting also is that I talked to her in May, and I was like, I kept said, I'm going to post it, I'm going to edit, I'm going to do the video. And as you know, I have ADHD, I get distracted and such, but it just came at the right time. And then she reached out to me, and it happened that it was the day of Kamala's first date of her book tour. So I thought it was appropriate. And so the video is organized where first there is about, I think it's about 7 minutes or so, where she made a video. She actually went to film school. So not that you have to go to film school to make a video, but to edit the video. But anyway, so she created her own introduction. And then I have an interview with her towards the end where she talks about her process and the paintings that she likes and such. So I never do videos like this, and it doesn't mean that there will be many videos like this in the future. It's just that I think her work is very relevant. I've always been really interested in images and theology, the history of images. I went to art school also. I have an undergrad and graduate degree in art. And so, and not because of this, but I really think her paintings are spectacular from an objective standpoint, really. So anyway, so this is that. And so meet Elspeth Tremblay. You may remember her name. In the future, you will remember where you saw it first. Okay. And it's a really wonderful painting of Kamala that I have shared with you before. Okay. So thank you for watching, and I'm so happy to share the work of Elspeth with everybody. All right. Okay. Thanks for watching.
Hello, I'm Elspeth. I'm an intuitive watercolor painter. When I do a portrait of someone, it's kind of like I'm doing a reading at the same time. I get visitations from whoever I'm painting. So most of the time when I'm painting, they'll sort of inhabit my hands and direct me where to paint, and I can feel all their emotions, and it all goes into the painting, and it's almost like they're infusing the painting with a message for the person that is consigning the painting. Right now I'm working with 5 different paint sets. Some of them are really old. This one I got at a stoop sale in Brooklyn about 15 years ago. I love old things, anything antique or anything that has a story. It's sort of like time travel for me. I can get a sense of the energy from it. It really infuses the painting with an extra layer of depth. I like to have a couple of crystals, nice candle. It really is like going into a meditation. So with that, I'm going to start a new painting, and I invite you to watch me. What I love about painting is the alchemical transformational powers that it has. Turn something sad into something sacred, pain into something powerful, and to reframe a memory. For example, if you only remember someone as sickly, I can paint them in their fullness as healed. And it's not just like AI or Photoshop, it's like I'm using my vision, like my third eye vision, to see through the obvious and to really use my X-ray vision to look to the core, look to someone's eternal happiness, like when you're in a plane and you fly above the clouds and it's always sunny. That's what you find when you look deep inside a lot of people. When I'm painting this part of her hair, I can hear music. It's like a mashup with CNC Music Factory, things that make it go, and that other song, It Takes Two to Make Things Go Right. It's like there are little time capsules buried in someone's face, and like when I go around to her ears here, this is where I think of her childhood. Maybe she thought she had big ears. I love the earrings. That feels very important. It's sort of symbolic. A sign of respect. I feel like these pearls are sort of like, I've arrived. I'm here, and I'm here with dignity. She is very dignified. She's an ambassador. Such a powerful ambassador. Someone's got to do it. And she's gonna do it. I don't know what, I wonder what her last life was about, but she's so up to this. She's like, you don't even know how prepared I am. And this is really easy compared to what I have done to prepare for this. Gosh, so effortless. She's got one eye on the prize and one eye glad handing. This eye is, we're cool, it's all good. And this eye is, I see destruction on the horizon and I am ready. But destruction is not ready for me. It's like I can feel it. It's almost like there's like a itch, and it's like it feels relieved when I put the right color in the right spot. And this is where I feel like I'm in concert with the watercolor and the water itself. The water is a very important character in my paintings because the water is the wild card. The water is my collaborator. It's like the spirit. And so it does what it wants. And I'm not trying to train it into doing what I want. I'm going with its suggestions and I'm working with it. It's like the water's possessed and the water is splashing itself sometimes. I was like, damn, I didn't mean for that to go right on her nose. And just that little mishap that I would not have thought to add myself was like the little chef's kiss at the end. Ooh, trouble's brewing. But I ain't afraid of nothing. Come and get it. Yeah, I think she's almost done. Yeah, because the layers represent the generations. She's layers and layers of momentum. She's layers and layers of achievement. Recognize the achievements here. So much dignity. Whew. She's tough, ladies and gentlemen. Right here. This represents Prince. This little speck of purple is courtesy of Prince. And his untamed energy. Ooh, this is good. Let's put some of that energy right here in her smile. Oh, yeah. I need this all over the place. It's like you wait for the impulse. You drop in. And so it is. The paint's still wet, so it's gonna look even better when it dries, but I'm feeling like she's just about there. There she is. You know what's ironic is that, well, this part isn't ironic, but it was perfectly in sync that the weekend that I was painting that was the day that I think you had done a walking tour, and you also did like a download on Kamala and Washington reporting. So I was already painting her at that very time. It wasn't like I heard you and I thought, that's what I'll do, but I was painting it. You were talking about a military vest at the time. And I chose a picture that I guess she was at an airport and the wind was blowing through her hair. And ironically, that was the photo that was accompanied by an article about how she failed. And I thought, that's not
interesting.
That is not what I'm getting from this picture at all.
That's right. That's right.
So this was a picture from 2025. I wanted something really current. And it was one of those stupid articles about like how she failed. But I looked at that picture and I thought, no, this is the picture where she sees what's happening, but she sees through it, just like we do when we see through it. We see a more important horizon. So that's the painting. That's the picture I chose to do the painting, because I thought that's perfect because it sums up. Yeah.
So interesting to hear. Just talk about. We talk about different paintings that you've made that you like.
My favorite painting is the girl swimming, and that one was sort of taken from my imagination. Yeah. So
that was sort of, tell you something.
Yeah. So paintings for me are a portal, like a connection to someone that's living or passed away, or to a vision that you were trying to bring into your life. At that time, I was going through divorce, lots of unknowns, but this was the emotion that I wanted to be feeling, was basking in the sun, floating, not feeling the gravity. And this is not a portrait of me. This is a portrait of a moment. And my other favorite paintings would be there's one of a puppy dog called Burrows, which was my first commissioned pet portrait, and he came through so strongly, his spirit. And after that, there was a cascade of pet portraits that came my way, and I felt like he was the guardian of like, all right, and now you're gonna do pets. There was another special painting of my grandma and my uncle standing in front of a very shiny car, and there's a picture on my Etsy shop of my dad holding the painting. I'd sent it to him, and as I looked into the photograph to paint it, I realized that my grandpa was sitting in the car and he looked really impatient. He had the hand on his wheel. And at that time, I think my grandma had cancer. But since then, all of them are now deceased. So that painting was really special because now they're all still together. And my uncle had designed the dress she was wearing. My grandpa was driving them to the ball or something. And I don't know, that painting was just like twilight in the woods in Boston. By the way, right near Lexington, where the American Revolution like all happened. Very sacred ground there. But that painting it's not my favorite technical painting. There's something wrong with my uncle's face. But the feeling from that painting really, I I feel it when I look at that. I feel like they're looking back at me. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. No, very interesting. Very interesting aspect. So, as we know, we talked about how um I was so interested in this whole like the image that the idea that you have this healed image, right? Or the healing through images. And so how I guess we're gonna ask, right? How did you arrive at this practice?
Oh,
Uh,
so all right. So about 17 years ago, I was drawing in black and white, and I was trying
mhm,
to make it as an editorial illustrator in New
mhm,
York. So I decided to start a blog and draw celebrities, and it
mhm,
was called the Celebrity Perfumery. And I would like invent like a
mhm,
recipe of,
mhm,
because at that time everyone was creating their own uh,
mhm,
perfume. And I thought, yeah, but if you really wanted to smell like Britney Spears, it wouldn't be very nice. It would be like
mhm,
crushed Vicodin and grape
mhm,
soda and perspiration and fake fur. And so I did like a DIY recipe of how to smell like these celebrities. And then I would do an illustration. But when I was doing an illustration of them, it was like I'd go into their energy for 3 days, and it was really rough for some people. Kate Blanchett was great. And actually, I think she guards her energy so well that I couldn't really get a good, couldn't go in very far. But Brittany was having like a breakdown at the time, and when I drew her, I really like I felt sick. I felt
mhm,
sad, and I really felt like I lost myself a little bit. And I thought, gosh, well, she doesn't have boundaries on her energy, and neither do I guess, because
mhm,
I couldn't turn it off and on. So then I had a tarot reading in Australia, and she said, "Oh, you're going to be doing color paintings and portraits of people." And I thought, oh my God, that is so cliched and
mhm,
obvious. I really don't think so.
mhm,
I was like, are you psychic, or are you just like going with what everyone says? I'm trying to be different here, black and white
mhm,
only.
mhm,
Well, she was absolutely right. A couple
mhm,
of years later, I did find a paint set at a stoop sale, and I was just so drawn to it. And um, I thought I would, the editorial thing just wasn't working out. So I thought I would do personal portraits just for my
mhm,
own enjoyment.
mhm,
And I felt like I was really, it was like I'd arrived at home, and I felt like I was in command of, I felt like I had a whole panel of artists like
mhm,
coming through me, and just like all I had to do was just show up at the page, and everything would just paint itself. So I was
mhm,
like, well, that's pretty magic.
mhm,
Then when commissions started coming to me, some of them were for people that had passed away, some of them were family members, and I would start getting a reading of the people I was painting. And for the people that passed away, when I was painting them how I was feeling them, which was healed,
mhm,
full of light,
mhm,
full of gratitude, just like their eyes were like
mhm,
crystals that light up through the window, those hanging crystals.
mhm,
And my style of painting really started to look like refracted light,
mhm,
like as if you screen print and you can see the different layers of color.
mhm,
That's sort of how my painting started coming. Uh, like this one I'm working on right now, sort of like when you look at a distance, all the colors merge together and you can see
mhm,
it's green. But up close, you can see there's pink and
mhm,
there's blue and there's colors that shouldn't be in there. But when you hold it back, it makes sense. And so each color is like an emotion. I
mhm,
guess for other readers, it might signify like an aura or something, but it's like my mind's moving too
mhm.
quickly to analyze what it
That's
is.
right. That's
It's
right.
just
Of
like,
course. Of course. It's your
it's like,
response.
oh, this memory that's buried in their shoulder feels like yellow. That feels like a childhood color. So it's just that's how the colors come through.
Mhm,
Um, so that's how it happened. I haven't yet done portraits of people that are living and that are sick
mhm,
and need a healing, but
mhm,
that's where I'm headed.
mhm,
That's
mhm,
where I'd like to go.
mhm,
And because I can feel the power that it has done to restore connections with people that were so overcome with grief that they were sort of blocked by their own grief, that they couldn't
Mm-hmm.
remember their loved one as healthy. They were so like taking on their pain, but
Mm-hmm.
that person wasn't feeling that pain. So it was sort of causing
Mm-hmm.
a glitch in their connection. Um, I think I mentioned last time that I had a past life reading and I went into my own future
Mm-hmm.
and I could see myself doing portraits, like in-person sit-ins where I was doing a
Mm-hmm.
portrait of someone and they would be feeling the strong energy coming from me
Mm-hmm.
and going through into them, and just even the experience of the portrait, which takes at least a few hours, if not weeks, but the fact that they were sitting there, they would feel the benefit of it too. So it was a healing experience. And then of course they'd be left with a painting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When they see that painting, it's a reminder of their new set point, which
Interesting.
is
That's right. That's right.
so
Right.
that was in my future. That's
Oh,
not
interesting.
something that I can say, oh yes, I do this at the moment.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's where I'm.
Wow. Yeah. No, no, it's so interesting because I was telling you, of course, before that when I picture people healed, I picture them the highest, I picture the highest self in the healed form. Like that's why I always feel like the image is so important, and the fact that uh you're granting that. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Because okay, so because when you describe your paintings, you mentioned that you were intuitive painter. Is that how was it that you described it? I don't remember exactly, but like,
And an intuitive painter.
is that right? Is that how you described your work,
Yeah.
yourself? Yeah.
A painting healer.
Penny heal. That's it.
Yeah.
So can you tell me more about the healing process, the way that you, because you said it like you painting healer.
Painting healer. Yeah.
So
So,
yes.
um, it has always come organically to
Mm-hmm,
me, but
mm-hmm,
I'm becoming more and more conscious of it and having like a sense of ceremony around it. For example,
mm-hmm,
I just like, it's now a thing where when I set the crystals out and I light the candle, that's when the session starts. And when I blow the candle out, we're complete. And it just sort of like hanging up the phone.
mm-hmm. Interesting.
um,
That's right. That's
so,
right.
and when I light the candle, um, that's when it's like I summon the energy through me and I wait for
Mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm,
impulse, and then I drop in and I
mm-hmm,
start applying the colors, and it's like
mm-hmm.
it's medicine. Like that needs some purple, that
Okay.
needs some
Okay.
green. Yeah. Yeah. Like you're cooking,
Mm-hmm,
exactly like you're cooking. And then
mm-hmm.
you're like, oh, that's too salty. Let's tamper that down with some blue. It's exactly like cooking.
So in a way, one can describe your paintings as like a sort of like a healing process for the subject of the painting, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. It's like it's not just how do I replicate an
Mm-hmm,
image of this person?
mm-hmm,
It's like,
mm-hmm,
what does this person need? I see the photo and I ignore the colors that I'm seeing. And instead, I
mm-hmm,
paint them with, for example, in that painting of Kamala, she's wearing a black coat. Well, I felt prompted to do a sheet of red and
mm-hmm,
then another layer of green and then another layer. So by the layers, it looks black at the end, but actually it's all the colors in the rainbow. And it was only when I stopped painting and I looked back and I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. She represents everybody.
wow.
But it felt strange. That doesn't happen with every painting, but with her, it felt very important that like red. I guess you could analyze and go red equals passion equals, but it's really like the colors are like the ingredients, like the medicinal, emotional ingredients, and this is what that
Mm-hmm,
person needs.
mm-hmm,
They
mm-hmm,
need, and then I guess when the viewer sees it, and there are unexpected colors that come out, like they have blonde hair, but there's like specks of green and red, and it just, I guess, subliminally, maybe it removes them from their analytical mind, and they're just sort of feeling the I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure how it works because it's very organic and
Mm-hmm.
intuitive for me. Intuitive is the
Mm-hmm.
best word, but I really feel
Mm-hmm.
like I have the experts behind me coming through me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They have a reason for every color. I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling the impulse of like, yep, you said red. That, you know, that feeling here means that color there. That's how I
Wow.
that's how I
That's
work it.
great. That's great. Wow, that's wonderful. That's exciting. So if someone who maybe watched you would like to, let's say, commission or order a painting, you have the Etsy store, right? That we talked about. And how
Yep,
long, like how, I mean, I'm sure you have it depends on how many people you have
right.
working on, right? So it could take a couple of months. How long would it take, usually?
I've got it down to about 3 weeks.
Okay, all right. Okay. Just
Kamala
interesting.
was like a week and a half, and
Okay,
I
okay.
didn't have anything else to work on at that time. So sometimes, if it's like a 9 by 12, it could take a week and a half of
Oh,
my
wow. Okay, okay.
working on it sort of every day around my day job.
Okay,
But
okay.
I think 3 weeks is a good
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
parameter. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. Interesting. Very good. Very cool.
I set up a section in the Etsy store just for like the reading painting
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
section, because
mm-hmm.
then I'll also make a video for them
Okay.
and send that to them. So they
Okay.
have all the
Okay.
messages that are coming to me while I'm painting.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Very
Did
interesting.
you did you get a chance to see the video I made of the making of the Kamala painting?
No, let's see. Let's see. I didn't click on all of it. Okay,
Yeah, so
so let's see. So video here.
I
I clicked on
started
it. Oh, that's right.
a YouTube channel
That's
last
right.
week.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Oh gosh, I had really sort of settled into like, oh well, this is a nice hobby that I'll just keep doing, but
Wow.
you
No, but
know,
I'll say it. I will also say it in the introduction that how unusual it was for me too, because I never encourage people to do art like all seriously because it's so
uh,
complicated, it's so hard, or whatever. But with you, it was clear to me, right? That that's what it was. It was meant to be.
well,
So
yeah, it was the right timing too, because every
right,
other
right.
psychic has told me that. And I
Uh-huh.
thought, wow, how
Mm-hmm.
original.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah,
right. That's
I
right.
know I'm creative. Tell me something I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But there was something about I was ready to hear what you were saying, and I believed you. And I was like, that it felt shocking. It felt like,
Wow.
oh my gosh, yes, I had to reach the point of surrender where I was so willing to
Mm-hmm.
do
Mm-hmm.
something so different and become a completely different person, that's when I got to return home and just be myself and invest all that energy that I put
Mm-hmm.
into all
Mm-hmm.
the other jobs into being myself with intention and
That's right.
purpose.
That's right.
Felt so powerful.
Wow. Oh my God. So I have to tell you something I forgot to tell you. I picked up. Maybe so yesterday, was yesterday when I was looking at it, I swear I saw you in the White House. Like
You saw
that,
me in the White House.
yeah, with Kamala being president, you're painting her picture.
Yeah.
Because really, honestly, look, I'm not saying you shouldn't necessarily do it, but if for example you decide to do that, what was it? The thing that we talked about, the cups or whatever, like just do it as a
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
a merch kind of thing
yeah.
because it will travel. It's such a
It'll
beautiful
travel.
image.
It'll end up in her
And
hands.
I
Yeah.
was like, so once also I
Yeah.
have a link because I think I want to share with people and even her family members to go to their. I'll do it. You're not going to do it obviously. Like I don't think that I know how to, but people will like look at how beautiful this painting is, and I think like I totally see her commissioning you to do her portrait. Like I'm serious. Like I could totally, and I see you there like kind of shy, like no, because it's like you're meeting her there and everything.
Yeah.
So it's so cool. I love it. I'm excited. So imagine, like, seriously, you're like, oh, you did her
Yeah.
portrait. Like, then people are
Yeah.
gonna be like contacting you constantly to like make,
Yeah.
So that's so cool.
I saw her at the rally in Detroit, and I
Uh-huh.
wasn't too far away from her,
Mm-hmm,
and I
mm-hmm,
was just looking at her
mm-hmm,
away from the jumbo screen, looking at her as a
mm-hmm,
person. I was
mm-hmm,
thinking, this person has a lot of energy, and
mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm,
she has like you could see the bubbles in the
mm-hmm,
air. It was like
mm-hmm,
all the spirits around her. Like she
mm-hmm.
had her own rally of spirit. It was
Wow,
like there
wow.
were like 15,000 people at that rally,
Mm-hmm,
but there
mm-hmm,
was like
75,000 spirits gathered around her. It's like, yeah.
Wow. Wow, amazing. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So